Luigi is often pushed to the sidelines while his brother hogs the limelight, but every so often Nintendo throws him a bone. Soon, he will be returning to the limelight with another spooky adventure in Luigi's Mansion 3, and as anyone who's played the first two games would tell you, there's plenty of reasons to get excited about the upcoming sequel. As its launch draws closer, in this feature we'll be taking a look at a few vital pieces of information you should know about Luigi's Mansion 3. So, without further ado, let's get started. The setup. Luigi's Mansion 3 begins as the main man, along with his brother Mario, Princess Peach, and various toads, head to a hotel called the Last Resort after receiving an invitation to enjoy a luxurious vacation. As you can imagine though, things are not what they seem. Quickly upon arrival, it comes to light that the Last Resort is haunted. The invitation was a ploy by King Boo, and everyone but Luigi has mysteriously disappeared. Now, with the help of Professor Egad, Luigi must once again conquer his fears and rescue his friends. No ordinary hotel. Luigi's Mansion 3 takes place within the haunted hotel called Last Resort, but this, of course, is no ordinary hotel. As you play through the game, expect to visit various different kinds of environments, with each floor of the hotel being themed differently. There's a floor full of greenery and plant life, a floor with a pyramid, a frosty floor full of ice, and even a disco-themed floor. Poltergust. It goes without saying, but Luigi's go-to weapon for spooky adventures, the Poltergust, will be returning, courtesy of Professor Egad, this time returning as the Poltergust G00. The Poltergust will retain all of the abilities we've seen over the past two games, including the flashlight and the dark light. That said, it'll also be equipped with a few new abilities. New Poltergust abilities. In Luigi's Mansion 3, after Luigi sucks things up with his Poltergust, he can now target other enemies and things in the environment to shoot those things back out, while another new ability allows Luigi to use the Poltergust to slam ghosts on the ground or even into each other. Meanwhile, another new ability, called the Suction Shot, allows Luigi to fire plungers, which he can then grab onto as well. Virtual Boo. Luigi's Mansion 3 will also equip Luigi with a new device called the Virtual Boo, though anyone who's played the first two games will be familiar with its purpose and functions. Like the Game Boy Horror from Luigi's Mansion and the Dual Scream from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, the Virtual Boo allows Luigi to communicate with Professor Egad, while the device also shows a map of the hotel floor Luigi is currently in and also displays current mission objectives. Gooigi. With the 3DS remake of the first Luigi's Mansion, Nintendo introduced Gooigi, a clone of Luigi made of goo, and in the upcoming Luigi's Mansion 3, Gooigi will be coming back, and coming back in a big way. At any time, Luigi can use the Poltergust to summon Gooigi, who can pass through obstacles that Luigi cannot, such as walking over spikes and walking through iron bars, thus allowing players to solve various puzzles. Gooigi, however, is weak to fire and water, so make sure to keep him away from them at all costs. More open-ended. Luigi's Mansion 3's developers have said that the upcoming sequel is going to be more open-ended in its structure than the previous two games, though what exactly that amounts to isn't something they've gone into much detail. We can probably expect much bigger areas, while going back to older areas to explore them more thoroughly at your own leisure also seems like a given. Perhaps players will also be able to tackle missions in any order? Either way, it's good to know that the game's wacky hotel setting is being used properly. Longer campaign. The first Luigi's Mansion was a bit too short, at about 6 to 7 hours long, while Dark Moon made significant improvements on that front with a campaign that lasted roughly 15 hours. With Luigi's Mansion 3 though, fans can expect to see even more content. According to the developers, thanks to large levels in the hotel, plenty of main story content, and ample side activities, Luigi's Mansion 3 promises a meaty single-player experience. Co-op. Luigi's Mansion 3's campaign can also be played in co-op. When playing in co-op, one player controls Luigi and the other controls Gooigi, and both are constantly active at the same time, unlike single player where Luigi has to summon Gooigi when he needs him. Similar to the single player, Gooigi retains the same abilities of being able to walk over spikes and through iron bars while being weak to fire and water. Gooigi also has a max health of 25 as opposed to Luigi's 99, but unlike Luigi, Gooigi's health regenerates over time. SCARESCRAPER. Luigi's Mansion 3 is also promising plenty of content on the multiplayer side of things once players are through with the content. Dark Moon's SCARESCRAPER mode makes a return, putting multiple players in maps and tasking them to cooperatively clear the area of ghosts and enemies before a timer expires. As opposed to Dark Moon's SCARESCRAPER, which had a total max of 4 players, Luigi's Mansion 3's SCARESCRAPER mode is an 8-player affair, with 4 of them playing as Luigis and 4 playing as Gooigis. SCREAMPARK. SCARESCRAPER isn't the only multiplayer mode in Luigi's Mansion 3. There's also the competitive mode, SCREAMPARK, which pits 2 teams of 4 players each, 1 team Luigi and 1 team Gooigi, against each other. Both teams battle against each other to defeat the most ghosts, break the most targets, and collect the most coins within a given time limit. DLC. Nintendo have also confirmed that Luigi's Mansion 3 will be getting paid post-launch DLC. While the single-player campaign will remain untouched, the SCREAMPARK and SCARESCRAPER multiplayer modes will both be getting additional content. What that content will be isn't something Nintendo has talked about, nor have they announced anything like a season pass, but we do know DLC is on the docket. File size. Nintendo Switch owners rarely have to worry much about large file sizes for games, if at all, and that's not going to change with Luigi's Mansion 3. Though the game promises a meaty single-player campaign in addition of 2 multiplayer modes, its file size is still pretty small. The game will require just 6.3 gigabytes of free storage space on your system. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.